What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another vlog. I'm going to get straight into it today. I've not done one of these news videos in a while, and this is the topic that everyone's kind of talking about at the minute, so I'm going to throw in my opinion on the matter and kind of give the pros and cons of each side. So what I'm talking about is the CrossFit Games 2020. Obviously, with the coronavirus, COVID-19 going around at the moment, lots of competitions and sanctional events have all been postponed. Some have even been cancelled until next year. So this throws into doubt the 2020 CrossFit Games. Now, originally it seemed as if the games would be cancelled or postponed to later on in the year. But Dave Castro recently took to Instagram to suggest that the games would still go ahead. And one of the options that Dave Castro has suggested is that it would be held in rumours. And now for you CrossFit OGs, you will know that rumours was basically the birthplace of CrossFit. This is where the CrossFit Games was held in 2007 to 2009, and then they also did day one of the 2016 games there, I believe. So this is the birth of CrossFit, and it's got a very nostalgic feel to the whole place. There's some cool events that they did there, like the run up the hill and the trial run and stuff. But would it work in 2020? And this is what I kind of want to delve into now. Now, this is just my opinion, so take it as you wish. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. If you want to put your comment in the description below and let me know what you think of the whole idea of the 2020 games being held at Aromas, then let me know down below. I personally don't think it should go ahead. I think it should be postponed till next year and somehow still accommodate the athletes that have already qualified for this year's event to let them compete next year. I don't think it should just be wiped and started again new, because I think that's very unfair, especially on athletes like Zach George, who this is the first time they've qualified and they've been super excited to go all the way to America and compete. I think those guys should still go into next year's competition, and then the competitions that have been postponed and cancelled, then obviously they would get their new games ticket winner next year before the event. Also, I don't think it'll be as good spectacle to watch. Obviously there won't be spectators there because of all the flight bans and issues with coronavirus that's going on at the minute. So there's not really going to be an atmosphere there. It's going to seem odd being streamed with no crowd. And we're so used to the CrossFit Games being this crazy, well, even sanctional events now, the crowds and just everything that goes into a sanctional weekend and a CrossFit Games weekend, vendor village and stuff, I don't think it's going to be the same. Now, I get that CrossFit and Dave Castro are being stubborn and saying, we really want to put this on, we're going to put this on, we're not going to let it stop us, blah, blah, blah. But I think in the grand scheme of things, you've got to look at the health and safety side of things, crowds of people. It's probably not viable, and I think you've just kind of got to accept that and look at ways that you can reschedule for next year while still accommodating certain athletes. There's also talk about if the games wouldn't go ahead at Aromas or in Wisconsin, that there would potentially be a virtual online competition. I think this is a good idea just for a bit of fun, so you could get all the CrossFit Games athletes together. I don't think you can crown the fittest on earth by an online competition, because, I mean, you look at the CrossFit Open every year, there's always some people that make it into the top 30, they're nowhere near that ability when they get to the games. So as much as it'd be fun to watch everyone throw down online, I don't think that's a viable option to crown the fittest on earth. Now, on the flip side of things, I don't think it's 100% a crazy idea. I think common sense kind of makes it suggest that you should postpone the event. But on the other hand, it looks like there's a handful of athletes that are actually really looking forward to the possibility of it actually happening in Aromas. You've got Jacob Heppner, the Buttery Bros have commented on Dave's post. I'll put the link in the corner. It's had really good attention from the athletes. They really want to go and compete. I just don't know what that means for the European athletes, people that are out of America. It just seems that it'll be very hard to get to America and compete. So yeah, the athletes do see buzzing for it, and I'm sure a lot of the, even some of the new athletes who have never been to the CrossFit Games would love to go to Aromas and compete there on the CrossFit Ranch, and just get a taste of what it used to be like. I think that would be quite cool. It's got a very nostalgic feel to it. You could do some cool events, but then on the flip side, is there a swim there? I don't think there is. So it would be cool to do some of the old school events. You could even do a repeat of some of the old ranch games. Dave Castro also put on a post about the old rig that they used to use at the ranch, it looks very, very old. And he basically put the caption under the picture of the rig saying, what do you think this rig should basically be used in the 2020 games? Now if you see the rig, I don't think that's safe for 20, 30 big CrossFitters to be swinging around. I mean, I'm sure they didn't used to do muscle ups like that back in the day. But yeah, it would be cool to use some of the old equipment. And like I say, the athletes do seem up for it. And I guess it would be cool for CrossFit to go back to its roots, like what they did in 2016 when they had day one of the games at the ranch. That was quite cool when the athletes didn't know. So yeah, I can see why the athletes are excited, but I think you just need to use a bit of common sense about this. And it's disappointing and as frustrating as it is. And I can actually say this now, I know how frustrating it is with organising the Midlands Fitness Games. We really didn't want to postpone the event. We waited as long as we could. But then it was kind of just taken out our hands. And if the whole coronavirus thing doesn't settle down, then I can't see the event happening. I really can't. And I admire Dave for being so stubborn and being determined to make it happen. But there's so much money and pride and fans associated with the CrossFit Games. It just feels like it wouldn't be right to do it behind closed doors. But we'll see. We never know with Dave Castro. He's always throwing up random ideas. He'll probably come up with another idea before then. So yeah, it's going to be one of the things where we're just going to have to bide our time. The only thing is, I think he needs to release something in concrete very soon, because obviously people have got flights. Well, if they can still fly, people have got accommodation they need to cancel or keep. Yeah, so I think a decision needs to be made in the next week or so, and then whatever decision they make, they have to stick with it. But if guidelines say they can't do the games, then they have to cancel. I'm going to leave it out there now. I'm not going to talk too much into it. Let me know what you think down below, whether you agree with me or disagree. I mean, it's gutting that there's not going to be, well, that there potentially could not be a CrossFit Games this year. But at the end of the day, the athletes and the fans' safety comes first, and you've just kind of got to take a view of it with a sensible head. So I'm going to leave the video there. That's all from me. If you did enjoy this quick little news video, then make sure you smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel, An Average CrossFitter. Now more than ever would be a great time to subscribe to a YouTube channel, especially with all this lockdown stuff going on. Flip back, watch some of my old videos. I'm going to put a link below to some of my favourite videos. I'm also going to do a little bit of a highlight video of all my favourite moments throughout this channel so far. We're still very new. I've just recently done a podcast with Rocket Power Apparel, which was really cool. So it was the first one in their series. So we talk about the YouTube channel, we talk about the Midlands Fitness Games, which is now been postponed till the 30th of August. So I'm praying that all this coronavirus settles down by then. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, smash that like button, but more importantly, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Started digging holes for the rig today as well, so that'll be going in tomorrow. Talking crap, and I will see you in the next one.